Before this vlog starts, I just wanted to provide a bit of an update because it's been quite a while since the last video. This last week has basically been a complete and utter write-off. Write-off. There you go. That's how much of a write-off that sentence was. Work turned into carnage. I ended up getting back late. We then had a little bit of a family emergency I had to deal with, and then I had to go back over to my parents to finish working on their house. So there was very little actually going on in our own houses. There wasn't a lot of interest to record. It would have just been me driving around all week, so we haven't recorded much. So the video that's about to play now is from 2 weeks ago, a few weeks ago, whenever it is. So enjoy that. The schedule should be resuming, and we should be back working on the house. So roll the vlog from a few weeks ago, and we will see you all in Time Warp in the future when I'll update you on more detail of things that have happened. But anyway, hit today's vlog. Welcome back to another day of living in the new house. For those of you who don't know, my name is Ryan and I started vlogging our house renovation for my partner while she was living in Canada. She has since joined me, and we've sort of carried on filming because family, friends and people online have enjoyed watching along. For those of you that haven't yet seen yesterday's vlog, you may want to go watch it because it's going to go explain some of the context of what's about to happen today. In that we've had a load of problems due to the cold weather with plaster, with pipes, with a load of other stuff. The plumber is here, or he's gone out to get some bits now, and should be making some progress today. But the first thing I'm going to be getting on with is destroying this wall-ish. So, yeah, you may have seen yesterday's vlog that some of this plaster hasn't adhered to the wall properly, and it's going to need to be stripped back to have a look at what we need to do in terms of repairing it. So you'll see there's a crack, and you can see it opening up when I do that. So first thing I'm going to be getting on with is actually just ripping that back, see how much of it comes off, unfortunately. And then I don't think we'll replaster it today, but it'll at least give us a gauge of how bad that problem is. I think what we'll do in the meantime then is, at least once we've assessed that, this wall is fine and we need to start painting it ready for the radiator to go onto it. So that was probably something we'll do to make ourselves at least feel like we're making some progress, given that we're going backwards in this room and in the other room and in other areas as well. So yeah, let's go make some unprogress and then hopefully make some progress a little bit later on in the day. So I've just been over and tap tested this wall just to see where we haven't got adhesion. And with the excess areas, I think that are probably going to come away down this particular section. There's also a patch in this area down here. Now, if we remember back to when we were doing this wall from the previous vlog, so hang on, I need to take a bit of a step back. We had original wardrobe piece there. That bit was sugar soaked and cleaned. This bit wasn't. Then we had the fireplace here, which we then chiseled out and then put bonding on, and then we had paint all over that section. So I'm pretty sure this paint is probably what is causing the issues, because we didn't necessarily clean that bit down completely. And if you notice where the X's are, exactly where that paint was. So sugar soaping the whole house is definitely going to be the way going forward. But let's get on with stripping that apart and seeing what the damage is. Well, I think you can tell where the problem was. What I'm going to do now is, sorry editing Ryan, but overlay a picture of what the wall looked like before we plastered it. And that's what it looked like now. And we've stripped off all the loose pieces of plaster. That corner we may potentially want to do as well, but you can see exactly where the problem is. So here, we used to have the old wardrobe section that was there. There was grease and grime all over it from the wallpaper that was there, and we sugar soaked and cleaned it. Plaster stuck quite nicely. This bit, old paint, we did nothing but stick PVA onto it, didn't stick. This bit was where the fire breast thing used to go up here, and we bonded over it, stuck very nicely. This bit, old paint, didn't stick very well. That bit was the old chasing for the old plug socket that was down there, and the old TV cable we chased out, stuck quite nicely. This bit should be okay in reality. I think we'll get away with that corner, fingers crossed. So yeah, I think you can see see where we went wrong. So I think plan of action now is we'll use what less of the sugar soap we've got just to clean that wall up, just so at least ready to go. And then we're going to have to try and fill that in and blend it at some point as well. So yeah, sad to be going backwards, but I am very happy that we've at least identified what the issue now is, like a level of certainty, which means we can at least go and start doing something about it. I am a bit concerned about the other walls and inside the office now as well, but we will get to that bridge when we come to it. We'll actually end up replastering the whole lot, which is not going to be fun, but at least we know it's going to be done properly. So yeah, let's tidy up the mess and let's crack some sugar soap out. Oh, and also, we know the sugar soap's going to fix it because if you remember, there was a strip of wallpaper going along the top up there, and we did sugar soap that top edge and clean all that down, and guess what? The plaster stuck quite nicely. So we know it will fix the issue. Oh, nice holster. So, Mr. Plumber Man has now put the new gas pipe in, which I'm very happy about because I can finally remove the box. We are now getting the holes in the wall for the dials for the shower. There's a screw there. That's hitting the stud as well. Very nice. We may have forgotten to remove some clothes. Just doesn't need to know about it. Shh. No, there might be some dust, but just general construction. From people that may have been following a little bit longer as well, I finally actually put those screws back in that we missed in one of the time lapses, and I only noticed when I was editing. Bit of an update because we haven't actually been getting on with sugar soaping. We've been trying to get these dials cables set in. This one is now all sorted. We have the splitter running in for those two. However, this one is now at max extension, and you'll notice we are short, and we also need to have enough room to get into there. So we are now deliberating as to whether we need to get this cable extended as well, or whether there's something we can do with moving some stuff around upstairs to get it in place now. I'll jump upstairs and show you what we're looking at. So, sketchy ladder standing and looking in. Hello. We have the current pump which runs the shower. If my handy dandy assistant here shows me which one it is with those lovely manicured hands, that is the one that currently runs the bath. We have this mixer down here, which is the one for the shower. My suggestion is, or my potential request is, could we potentially swap the two round, and then that'd give us the room. He is deliberating. It does mean moving some stuff, and it may mean modifying his architecture, and it may not be possible. So we will be back when the expert has assessed the situation. So the consensus is that this cable is going to be extended. The good news is that we've put the dial on the other one with the splitter on that is already extended, and it is working. So we can at least continue to use the bath while we get this extended. But it does mean we still can't get the plasterboard on the wall yet. Yay! Well, Mr. Plumber Man has been and gone. We've made a small amount of progress in terms of getting that gas pipe in, at least getting close towards the cables. But yeah, unfortunately we're on stop now until we can get some more parts in, or until I've finished some other work as well. So we're kind of at the point where I couldn't do any more, so I sent him home so we could get on with some other bits. There was one other problem that has occurred though that we need to discuss, and that is not one I've actually raised yet. So in the loft is obviously where all the equipment is for the hot water system, and I've noticed that the bit that is running for the downstairs heating loop has been losing a little bit of pressure over time inside of the system, which would imply that there is something escaping the system and causing the pressure to drop. Now, I did discuss that with him, and we've had a look around everything that was like pipe work that he's done and everything. It all looks absolutely fine. But what I had noticed is that if we look down here at the front, moving the old Christmas bags, which need to go in the loft or something out of the way, you will notice there's a bit of staining going along underneath the floor here. That looks like it's either been filled in badly or could potentially be a bit of water leakage. Let me give you a bit of better light. There we go. Could potentially be a bit of water leakage. Now that could be potentially why we're losing the pressure from the system, because there could be a leak in the pipe underneath the floor. Problem, but also not so much of a problem, because thankfully we're actually ripping all of that bit out, especially on that bit, to put the new radiator in there anyway. So hopefully not a long-term problem, but only a short-term problem. But it is another discovery. Anyway, I'm now at the stage where we're going to get on with the work, so I'm going to go sugar soap that wall, so at least it's ready to plaster, and I may get on with plastering that tomorrow, I think is the plan of action, because we just want to get that front bedroom done. So if I get on with that sugar coating, sugar soaping tonight, then at least we'll be able to plaster that tomorrow. So, time-lapse mode! About literally doing a half job, I've unfortunately ran out of the good stuff. We are out. I was going to go to Screwfix/Toolstation with Alex earlier, but I decided I wanted to get started, and I regret it now because I have no sugar soap left. Big sag. We have at least got the one half of the wall done, and you can clearly see the difference now. So obviously this has had plaster on it, so it has a plaster scum on it, but if you look, it's really hard to show in this. Let me do that and get rid of some light. There we go. You'll see there's like a texture underneath it. That's that old paint. Now, if I come back and look at this side, you'll notice, despite the fact it's wet, there is very little texture left on the actual wall now, and that's because all the paint has been stripped off. Now, we may come have another quick blast over this as well, because you'll notice there's a few like bowls and bits like this which aren't going to stick too well, so we may want to come across with the scraper or the sander and just get rid of the rest of these lumps, because we are absolutely not going to have plaster falling off the wall again. So we may potentially give that another pass tomorrow and we have more sugar soap, but we are on stop for sugar soaping. I did also do one quick sample with some water on the wall down here, and you'll see same sort of thing. It's just stripped the paint straight off the wall, so we know we're going to have to do all of that. So I'm going to go to Screwfix/Wix tomorrow and buy an industrial amount of sugar soap, and then we'll come back to finishing that off tomorrow. But it is food time now, and then we will get on with another job, hopefully after food, provided we don't get food on the toes. So you'll either end up with Ryan ending the vlog tomorrow, or you'll end up with a new piece of work going ahead after this. So you'll find out now. If you guessed I'm going to be back and do more work, then congratulations, you were correct. Most people probably didn't guess that, because normally you get me in my onesie or my PJs the next day going, I didn't do anything, but I am actually going to do something. And that job in particular is, for those of you who don't know, these corner beads, and I'll get a ruler and show it properly in a second. When I mounted these, when I first ever did plastering, I neglected to check whether they were square, and if you look at that wall, you may actually be able to see that bottom corner is a little bit narrower than that top corner, and by a little bit, it's out by about 2.5 centimeters. So it's going to make everything look not square, especially when the radiator goes on the wall. So we actually need to rip these back and yeah, reseat them. So we are undoing more work that we have previously done already. The reason I'm going to get on with that now is because obviously where we drilled these holes through early with Alex, we already have some dust in the bath. We're going to have to clean up. So I might as well get on with it now while it's already a bit dusty, before I clean up and then have a bath a little bit later. So we're going to get the area cleared. We're going to break out the hammer and chisel, and then we're going to hopefully rectifyly knock these off in a secure and safe manner without causing any more damage than we need to, he says. Let's hope this doesn't go wrong. Time-lapse mode. Well, there we go. We are now corner beadless. I've gone through, tidied up the edges. Hopefully we've got enough room now to remount these and remount them square this time. The good thing to see is at least the tanking kit worked. It came off as one sort of nice clean sheet. So we'll need to probably chop the edges and loosen those up and just give a bit more of an edge to paint over. But yeah, we are out. We are cleaned up. I've also been through and removed the expanding foam. I guess the good thing with this is the fact that because I haven't actually bonded the inside of the window frames yet, there wasn't as much damage as could have been done. So at least it's somewhat repairable, let's put it that way. So yeah, definitely could have been a lot worse. I mean, today has definitely been a day of a lot of backward progress, unfortunately. because we've gone backwards on the window, we've gone backwards on that wall, but it's all in the name of hopefully making a forward step again this time. The only big bit we're going to do, obviously, as we've been talking about, is that hall office ceiling as well. I don't know how to English anymore, apparently. But anyway, you can tell by the fact that I'm not talking sense anymore that I need to get some rest. So we are going to be calling it there for the day. All I'm going to say is thank you very much for watching me redo jobs that I've already done once. Yeah, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Other than that, happy hunting, and we'll catch you all in tomorrow's vlog.